start with
the
the
Alien film,
Yeah.
of course. When Prometheus was announced, a lot of people were interested. It was supposed to bring the Alien franchise back to formula, despite not actually being connected as a prequel to the Alien franchise, in which case it actually is. But the movie itself was decent enough to actually garner a sequel. However, that sequel was really fucking terrible. Now, the movie Alien Covenant was just a mess all around. Forgettable characters, dumbass writing. The direction was just ass backwards. And one of the best things to come out of Prometheus, they completely just shoved its head in the toilet that somebody just shitted in and didn't even bother flushing. So, and that's the Shaw character, who was probably the most interesting character of Prometheus. And they just completely just shitted on her character in the Alien Covenant, and pretty much the actual a decent possible origin story for the aliens by having this dumbass android that nobody likes named David create them. So
and that's the story they were going with.
And everybody got pissed, and I don't understand it. Now I don't usually get behind people when movies when they get bad. Hell, I'm one of the few people that said Rey being Palpatine's granddaughter actually kind of makes sense, because again, this whole time Palpatine isn't just sitting in his throne doing this, looking out over the galaxy. No, the man actually has a social life. He actually does stuff outside of just being his asshole. So it does kind of make I can buy him having a son, and the son not wanting to follow in his footsteps, and all. I could buy that. But David creating the Xenomorphs was just a fucking joke. And the fact that they couldn't come up with something better than that is just criminal. It's just criminal.
Well, he said, Ridley Scott said that Prometheus and Alien Covenant tried to reinvent the wheel. So whatever he...
Like I said, there's no problem doing that. But if you're going to give one of the most famous sci-fi, horror, and iconic creatures in film history an origin story, a dumbass android that nobody likes ain't the way to go. It would have been much better. They introduced the fact in Prometheus that the Forerunners, or whatever the fuck they were called, that's Halo, whatever they were, the Forerunners, engineers, that's what it would have made more sense because in Prometheus they state that the engineers were trying to kill humans. Wouldn't it make more sense for an Alien Covenant the engineers actually created a biological weapon in the Xenomorphs to do that? They already had the sludge, the same shit David used to create the damn Xenomorphs. That would make sense. So, and then on top of that, David's pretty much the main villain the whole fucking time.
Well, he said, that's not the first time that people ask him about reworking the franchise. Because he said there's still a lot of mileage in Alien.
It is. The problem is you trying to stick to formula. A lot of that formula is Sigourney Weaver. Stop trying to stick to Sigourney Weaver. I like her. She does great in the first movie. She does great in the second movie. I'm one of the few that liked her in the third and fourth movie. But the problem is they keep trying to say the only way, if you have an Alien movie, you have to have a Ripley movie. Unless you have a Ripley movie, if you got a Ripley movie that's no Alien, it's not a good movie. If there's an Alien movie with no Ripley, it's not a good movie. It's like, no. Aliens, if you follow the comics, if you follow the books, they are, and not just the movies, if you're going by the movies kind of make it seem like they were only in like one set spot. It's like, no. They're other planets and stuff. They're in different spaceships. The Alien franchise stretches over a galaxy. So it would make more sense if these encounters weren't just by one person.
Right.
It's like what I was saying about the Resident Evil. I'm like, not every Resident Evil game needs to have the golden 7 characters. Because it's across the world. It would make more sense and would actually add horror value to it if you reset it with a new character. Make that character likable, trying to survive a zombie apocalypse. Not some character that's survived a zombie apocalypse and fought fucking BOWs for the last 20 years. It's dumb. So that's the problem with that. And then they had this problem where they had this trope where the female protagonist, there's always got to be a lone female protagonist survivor. They need to stop doing that. I think they did a good job of changing it in Alien Covenant because the Tennessee character, who was actually a really likable character, I'm glad he survived. But they need, if you're gonna reinvent the wheel, do it the right way. They're trying to make everything all philosophical and spiritual and.
Well, if he does do that, you know, he did the show Raised by Wolves, which we were just talking about. So hopefully, but this next Alien film, whatever you think, it'll be good. Because he was like, okay, why would a creature like this be made? Why is it traveling in this kind of the whatever they were traveling in? Why is it carrying all these eggs? I guess he wants to like go beyond that or what?
But that's what I'm saying. The engine from the first movie you saw that this ship was full of eggs. You don't know why. Mm-hmm. Prometheus gave you a reason why. Mm-hmm. The engineers wanted to kill humanity using this black goop, the black goop that mutates stuff. You're thinking when you see that, okay, they use this black goop to experiment to create the xenomorphs. In Alien Covenant, you're correct. That black goop was used to experiment to create the aliens. The problem was it wasn't the right person. The engineers should have been the ones who did it. Maybe some asshole engineer thought it was a good idea to do it. Mm-hmm. Fine. Then, but of course you got this dumbass character that, like I said, he was decent in the first movie. Because he was decent in the first movie. Why he was doing the shit he was doing, I still don't understand why, but decent in Prometheus. The rest of the Alien Covenant, I'm like, come on, really? But,
well, as they get more into it, if he's going to do it, we'll come back and talk more about it. I'm kind of interested, but then I don't know, after, Alien Covenant.
But this is my thing. There's 3 storylines they can go with. They could try to fix the Alien prequel series, mm-hmm. which I'm like, I'm willing to give them the benefit of a doubt. Fine. They could continue the original Alien series because they were saying that they were going to retcon 3 and Resurrection and pick up with Sigourney Weaver, the guy that played Hicks, the girl that's supposed to be mute, even though she don't act anymore, but somebody else. They're gonna pick up on their story, and then there is the story that's established in the films of Ripley dies, 200 years later she's cloned, and that storyline. Mm-hmm. So I'm really interested in seeing them work with any one of them. I just want somebody that's a good writer that actually understands not only the series, but actual direction and good writing to fix it. Because like I said, I like Resurrection, but I started noticing some things. The horror element wasn't there. There was no action there either. It was more of a sci-fi movie, but...
Right.
And I still don't understand this. How in the hell you on a spaceship with soldiers and there's no action sequences with the aliens fighting soldiers? But... okay. What's next?